Chapter 1. A sweet-smelling adventure begins. In the quiet of the night, under a sky full of twinkling stars, a little raccoon named Rascal tiptoed through the forest. His soft gray fur shimmered in the moonlight, and his fluffy striped tail swished behind him with every step. His tiny black nose twitched this way and that, sniff, sniff, sniffing the cool night air. Sniff! Sniff! Oh, what's that smell? Rascal whispered to himself, his eyes lighting up. Something smells delicious. You see, Rascal loved garbage, but not just any garbage. He had a special nose for the good stuff, the kind of garbage that was sticky and sweet, like melted marshmallows or little crumbs of donut sugar. His belly gave a little gurgle. Okay, tummy, I hear you, Rascal chuckled, patting his round little belly. Let's find that tasty treasure. Off he waddled, his paws making soft pitter-pat sounds on the ground. He followed the yummy smell through bushes, over logs, and around tall trees. His nose led the way, sniff, 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 until he stopped and blinked. Right there, behind a big brick building, sat the biggest, shiniest, most glorious dumpster Rascal had ever seen. It was huge and green, with big metal sides that shimmered under the moonlight like a treasure chest. Jackpot! Rascal whispered, his little paws clapping together. That smells like old pizza, maybe even cupcakes. His mouth watered just thinking about it. Rascal crouched low, wiggling his bottom like a little rocket about to launch. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, jump! Clunk, he scrambled up the side, his paws gripping the edge of the dumpster. With a mighty push, plop, he tumbled right in. The landing was a little bumpy. Oof, Rascal said, rubbing his head, but then his eyes went wide. Whoa, he spun around in a circle, taking it all in. Piles of soft, squishy trash bags, shiny food wrappers, and gasp, a half-eaten blueberry muffin just waiting for him to take a bite. Best night ever! Rascal cheered, stuffing his cheeks with muffin crumbs. He was the happiest little raccoon in the whole wide world. But then, something strange happened. When Rascal was full and ready to head back home, he looked up and up and up. The walls of the dumpster were so tall, much taller than they had looked from the outside. Rascal tried to jump. Boing! His paws scratched the metal wall but slipped right back down. Uh-oh! Rascal's ears drooped. That's not good. He tried again. Boing! Scratch! Slip! Now, instead of feeling full and happy, Rascal felt a little flutter in his tummy, but not the hungry kind. What if I'm stuck? The moonlight didn't feel quite so friendly anymore. The dumpster that had been so full of sweet smells suddenly felt big and lonely. Rascal sat down on an old pizza box and took a deep breath. Okay, Rascal, he whispered to himself to stay calm. You're smart, you're strong, you're not going to stay stuck forever. You just need a plan. And with that thought, under the soft glow of the moon, Rascal the Raccoon began to think of a way to escape. Little did he know, his adventure was just getting started. Chapter 2. Stuck in the dumpster dilemma. The night was quiet, except for the soft sounds of crickets singing in the distance and the gentle hoot-hoot of an owl somewhere far away. But inside the dumpster, it was way too quiet for Rascal's liking. He sat there, his little paws tucked close to his chest, staring up at the tall, shiny walls. They seemed to stretch higher and higher, like a metal mountain that couldn't be climbed. Okay, no big deal, Rascal mumbled, trying to sound brave. I'll just jump my way out. Easy peasy. He wiggled his paws and took a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, jump! Boing! His paws reached for the top, but scrape, he slid right back down with a flop into a pile of squishy garbage bags. Oof, okay, that didn't work. Rascal shook himself off and puffed out his chest. No worries, that was just practice. He gave a little stretch and tried again. All right, this time for sure. 1, 2, 3, jump! Boing! Scratch, slip, thud! Right back onto a squishy bag of what smelled suspiciously like old bananas. Yuck, Rascal muttered, wiping some mystery goo off his paw. His ears drooped and his tail stopped swishing. Maybe this is worse than I thought, he whispered. The stars twinkled above him, but from down here they felt very far away. For a moment, Rascal sat quietly. His heart beat a little faster than usual. His tummy felt twisty, not from hunger, but from worry. What if I never get out? What if I'm stuck here forever? What if I never eat sweet garbage again? The thought made Rascal's eyes go wide with panic. But then, deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, Rascal, you're smart, you're clever, you're a raccoon genius. He gave himself a determined little nod. I just need to think this through. That's when Rascal looked around the dumpster, not up at the walls, but down at the mess all around him. Piles of trash bags, old pizza boxes, crumpled up paper, empty crates. His nose twitched, sniff, sniff. Wait a minute, what if I don't need to climb on the wall at all? What if I build something to help me get out? The idea made Rascal's whiskers wiggle with excitement. I'm going to make my very own trash mountain. With a big, proud smile, Rascal rolled up his imaginary sleeves and got to work. First, he dragged a stack of squishy garbage bags into a big pile. Plop! Squish! Thud! Then he found an old crate, perfect for climbing, and stacked it on top of the bags. Needs more height, Rascal said, tapping his chin. He spotted a soggy cereal box, a wobbly old bucket, and even a smelly shoe. One by one, he stacked them up. Wobble, wobble, until the tower looked just tall enough to reach the top. Well, Rascal said, stepping back to admire his work. It's not exactly a castle, but it might just be my way out. He took a deep breath. Here goes nothing. Step by careful step, Rascal climbed his trash tower. His paws gripped the crate. Creak! His foot landed on the cereal box. Crinkle! The whole thing wobbled beneath him, but Rascal didn't stop. Almost there. Just a little more. His tiny paws reached up toward the edge of the dumpster. His claws scraped at the top. Scratch! Scratch! You can do this, Rascal. One last push, but suddenly, crash! The whole tower toppled down and Rascal landed with a soft, squishy plop right back on the garbage bags. Oof. Well, Rascal muttered, his eyes half closed. That could have gone better. But instead of feeling scared, Rascal did something different this time. He laughed. Okay, not my best plan, but at least I'm getting closer. I just need to try again. The night wasn't over yet, and neither was Rascal's big escape. Chapter 3. Rascal's big escape plan. Rascal lay flat on his back, surrounded by squishy garbage bags and the soft rustle of paper wrappers. Above him, the moon peeked over the edge of the dumpster like it was watching him, quietly cheering him on. Okay, so maybe building a trash mountain isn't as easy as it sounds. Rascal sighed, staring up at the sky. His fluffy tail gave a tired little wiggle. But deep down, way deep down, Rascal knew he couldn't give up yet. All right, new plan, he whispered to himself. I'm going to build it bigger, better, stronger. He sat up and took a deep breath, puffing out his chest like a brave little hero. I'm Rascal the Raccoon, and I don't quit. Besides, there's still sweet garbage waiting for me out there. With new determination sparkling in his eyes, Rascal got to work. First, he dragged the squishy garbage bags back into a pile. But this time, he made sure they were packed down. Squish, squish! Nice and tight so they wouldn't wobble. Nice and squishy, but solid. That's what we need, Rascal said with a grin. Next, he found an old wooden crate and placed it carefully on top of the trash bags. He gave it a little shake, wobble, wobble. But this time, it didn't fall over. Perfect! But Rascal knew he needed more height. His eyes scanned the dumpster until they landed on an old pizza box? No, too floppy. A broken chair leg? Too wobbly. And then, aha, a big, sturdy cardboard box. It even smelled like marshmallows and syrup. You'll do just fine, Rascal said, dragging it over with a mighty huff and puff. One by one, he stacked everything carefully. A squished pillow for cushion. Plop! A plastic bucket for balance. Clunk. And finally, the marshmallow syrup box. Thud. Rascal stood back, paws on his hips, and admired his work. Now this is a trash tower fit for a raccoon genius. The moment of truth had arrived. His little heart thumped in his chest. Thump, thump, thump. Okay, Rascal, time to climb. He placed one paw on the garbage bags. Squish. Next, he stepped onto the crate. Creak. Then up to the cardboard box. Crunch. The whole tower wobbled just a little. Wiggle wobble. Easy does it, slow and steady, Rascal whispered, gripping the sides tightly. His paws trembled just a bit, but he didn't stop. Finally, standing as tall as he could, Rascal stretched his paws toward the top of the dumpster wall. Scratch, scratch! His claws scraped against the cold metal. He could feel the edge, almost there. Come on, just a little more. With one last mighty push, grab! His tiny claws hooked onto the edge of the dumpster. Yes! Rascal cheered, his voice echoing through the night. He pulled himself up, wiggling and scrambling until, plop, he tumbled out of the dumpster and landed softly on the cool grass below. Rascal lay there for a moment, staring up at the stars, feeling the soft breeze ruffle his fur. I did it. I really did it, he whispered with a proud little smile. His tail gave a happy wiggle and his belly let out a soft gurgle. Okay, tummy. I know you're hungry, But let's not go back in there tonight. Rascal stretched his paws toward the sky, feeling proud, brave, and, most of all, free. As he waddled off toward the safety of the trees, a thought popped into his head. Next time, maybe I'll be a little more careful around big dumpsters. Little did Rascal know, his adventure wasn't quite over yet. Chapter 4. Helping a New Friend in Need. The next night, the moon was high and bright again, glowing like a giant nightlight in the sky. The cool breeze rustled the leaves, and Rascal was feeling extra confident as he padded through the forest. His fluffy tail swished happily behind him. Ah, he sighed. Nothing beats a good night's adventure, especially when you're a raccoon escape artist like me. His little paws padded softly along the ground as he followed his nose. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Suddenly, sniff, sniff, sniff. Wait a second. Rascal stopped. His ears perked up. There it was again, that same sweet, sweet smell of bakery garbage from the night before. His tummy gave a soft little gurgle. Rascal rubbed his chin thoughtfully. Maybe I could just take a peek. I mean, I did figure out how to get out of that dumpster last time. What could go wrong? So off he went, past the trees, around the bushes, and back toward the same big shiny dumpster. But as he got closer, something made him stop in his tracks. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Wait, that wasn't the smell of garbage anymore. That was the sound of sniffles. Is someone crying? Rascal whispered. His ears twitched and turned toward the dumpster. Hello? He called out softly. Is anyone there? Suddenly, a tiny, shaky voice echoed from inside the dumpster. Hello! Hello! I can't get out! Rascal's eyes went wide. Oh no, someone's stuck, just like I was! Without thinking twice, he scampered over and peered inside. Down at the bottom of the dumpster was a small raccoon with big, watery eyes and soft, scruffy fur. She looked just as scared as Rascal had felt the night before. Hey there! Rascal called out gently. It's okay, I see you! The little raccoon sniffled and wiped her nose with a tiny paw. I was just trying to find some food, and then I fell in, and now I can't get out! Her voice wobbled with fear. Rascal's heart gave a little squeeze. Don't worry, I was stuck in that dumpster just last night, but guess what? The little raccoon blinked up at him, sniffling. What? I figured out exactly how to get out, Rascal grinned, and I'm gonna help you do it too. You're not alone. The little raccoon's eyes grew hopeful. Really? You'll help me? Of course, Rascal puffed out his chest proudly. I'm a professional escape artist now. My name's Rascal. What's yours? Remy, the little raccoon whispered. Well, Remy, Rascal said with a determined nod, I'm coming in to help you. Without another thought, Rascal jumped down into the dumpster. Plop! Remy's eyes went wide. You jumped in here on purpose? Yup, because that's what friends do. They help each other out. Friends? Remy asked, her voice a little brighter now. Of course. Now let's get you out of here, Rascal said with a wink. He looked around at the piles of garbage just like before. First things first, we're gonna build a trash tower. It might get messy, but hey, that's half the fun. Remy sniffled again, but gave a tiny smile. Okay, I'll try. Together, they gathered squishy garbage bags and stacked them into a soft, wobbly pile. Plop, squish, thud. Now we need something strong to climb on, Rascal said, spotting a sturdy old crate. This'll do. Remy nodded and helped him push it on top of the bags. All right, Rascal said with a proud grin. You're up, Remy. Just climb slow and steady, and I'll be right behind you if you need help. Remy gulped, her little paws shaking as she placed them on the garbage pile. You've got this, Rascal whispered. I believe in you. Step by step, Remy climbed up the squishy bags onto the crate, and then scratch, scratch, she reached for the edge of the dumpster. I think I got it, Remy squeaked. You do got it, Rascal cheered. Now pull yourself up, just like this. He showed her how to hook her paws over the edge. With one last wiggle and a heave-ho, Remy scrambled up and tumbled out of the dumpster. I did it, she cried. You did it. Rascal cheered from below. Now hang on, I'll climb out too. Rascal scrambled up their masterpiece and hopped out of the dumpster with ease. Remy threw her paws around him in a happy hug. Thank you, Rascal. You saved me. Rascal grinned, feeling prouder than ever. Hey, what are friends for? Under the glow of the moon, the two new friends sat together, tails swishing happily. Hey, Remy, Rascal said with a playful grin. Want to go find another dumpster? I bet there's more sweet garbage out there just waiting for us. Remy giggled. Yeah, but this time let's try not to fall in. They both laughed, ready for their next adventure together. Chapter 5, Dumpster Diving Duo. The moon shone brightly above the trees, lighting up the night like a glowing silver lantern. Two little raccoons, Rascal and his new friend Remy, sat side by side under a big oak tree, their fluffy tails swishing happily behind them. "That was the best adventure ever," Remy said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Right? You were amazing." Rascal grinned and gave her a playful nudge. "You climbed out of that dumpster all by yourself." "You're a natural escape artist," Remy giggled. "Only because you showed me how." She looked up at the sky, where the stars twinkled like tiny, happy eyes. "I was really scared at first. I thought I was stuck forever." "Yeah, me too," Rascal admitted, giving his belly a little scratch. "But now we're dumpster climbing pros." Remy's ears perked up. "You think we could, maybe, find another dumpster, one that's not so scary?" Rascal's eyes lit up. "You bet we can! I know all the best spots around here. There's a diner nearby that smells like fries and pancakes. Super tasty garbage." Remy's tummy gave a tiny gurgle at the sound of pancakes. "That sounds delicious." "Well then, let's go." Rascal jumped up, his paws landing softly on the grass. "You and me, we're gonna be the best dumpster diving team ever." The two raccoons scampered off into the night, paws pattering quietly on the ground. As they trotted through the forest, Rascal shared all his best raccoon tips. Always sniff before you dive, never trust a wobbly trash can lid, and if you hear a dog barking, run. Remy listened carefully, her eyes wide with curiosity. Soon, they found their next treasure, a small silver dumpster behind the diner. The smell of syrup and crispy bacon floated in the air. "Oh," Remy whispered, her nose twitching. "This smells amazing," Rascal grinned. "Told ya! Now, let's check it out. But don't worry, we're not getting stuck this time." They worked together like a perfect team. Rascal helped Remy climb up first, and Remy kept watch while Rascal poked around for treats. "Look!" Remy held up a half-eaten pancake with a proud smile. "Score!" Rascal cheered. "Let's share it!" The two friends nibbled on their sweet, syrupy prize, sitting on the soft grass under the stars. "Hey, Rascal," Remy said between bites. "Yeah?" "I'm really glad I met you." Rascal smiled and gave her a friendly little nudge. "Me too, Remy. Dumpster diving's way more fun with a friend." As the night went on, they hopped from one dumpster to another, collecting little treasures and sharing quiet giggles. They found a squishy banana that made them laugh until their bellies hurt, a shiny spoon they pretended was pirate treasure, and even a wobbly old hat that Rascal wore like a crown. Finally, when the sky started to turn a soft, sleepy blue and the first birds began to sing their morning songs, Rascal and Remy curled up together under their favorite tree. "Best night ever," Remy whispered, snuggling close. "Yeah." Rascal yawned, his eyes fluttering shut. "And tomorrow night, we do it all again." The two raccoons drifted off to sleep, dreaming of syrupy pancakes, shiny treasures, and all the adventures still waiting for them. And from that night on, Rascal and Remy were never alone on their garbage hunting adventures again, because sometimes the best treasure you'll ever find is a friend. The end.